we need to discuss the true potential of Terra Classic actually hitting $1. Is it actually possible for us to see Terra Classic hit $1, and what can we expect along the process of getting there? Terra Classic's looking at a fraction of a penny in our current price, so we have quite a ways to go for us to hit $1, and our market cap right now, about $1 billion. Now, if we actually take these numbers and plug it in to see what's possible for Terra Classic, we can see that at a 1 cent Terra Classic price, we'd need roughly a $60 billion market cap, which is definitely quite a ways for us to go, but I think that's possible, right? Now, this is with the current circulating supply of just shy of 6 trillion total Terra Classic, and so this not factoring burns. We're not needing to burn half of our total supply or anything like that for this to be possible. We would just need to go straight up to that $60 billion market cap, which if we look historically for Dogecoin example, it peaked close to 88 billion. So it's something that's possible in a Dogecoin scenario. We don't even have to go to the peak of Dogecoin. We have to go closer to about right there on the chart. And so for us to see that 1 cent Terra Classic without any significant burns of our total supply, we'd really have to probably go into a bull market, because again, we're talking a magnitude, roughly 6x the size of Dogecoin right now. And so we'd probably need a bull market to make this possible, but in a bull market, it's something that is possible for us to see. But when we start looking at, for example, 10 cent Terra Classic or a $1 Terra Classic, we can see for a 10 cent, we'd need close to $600 billion market cap, which if we look at historical prices, the peak of Ethereum's market cap was just around that at about $570 billion market cap. And so if we're going to be a little bit honest with ourselves here, we can say, okay, yeah, we probably can't hit 10 cent or $1 without burning down a significant amount of our total supply. Because if we do that, for example, if we cut our supply in half, then the market cap that we need to obtain for that price, that also drops in half. And so it becomes a lot more realistic. And we want to burn obviously a lot more than just half of our total supply long term. Now, this is where a chart like this comes into play. This is a conservative scenario for Terra Classic hitting $1. So again, it's conservative. This is not a bullish scenario. This is a little bit on the conservative side. And so in this scenario, maybe it takes us a while to get to a Terra Classic price of $1, in which case we're looking at 18 years total here. But again, this could happen a lot faster. But in this scenario, we don't have to do anything crazy for our burns. Our burn amounts, we basically have to get up to a few $1 million every single day of Terra Classics that's burned. We don't have to get super, super crazy, and we can see that there's a nice steady increase here. It's not like we have to immediately start burning $100 million of Terra Classic tomorrow. We can slowly build our way up. And so it's, again, a very conservative way for us to hit $1. And you can see that down here with our market cap still only hitting about $80 billion. So again, if we look at Dogecoin, roughly that peak of Dogecoin right here in about $80 billion, that's where our market cap has to get to. We don't have to go way beyond that and get super crazy. At $80 billion market cap, we can still see a $1 Terra Classic, because we'll have burned just over 98% of our total supply. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, please consider subscribing down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified when another video just like this goes live. And so the point of this is not to say, oh my gosh, it's going to take us 18 years before we'll see a $1 Terra Classic. No, as I said before, it could happen much faster potentially, but this is to show the people who say, oh, we won't see Terra Classic hit $1 in the next 70 years, because what they do is they look at this current burn rate and they say, well, at this current burn rate, it's going to take us forever to get anywhere. And this current burn rate is only factoring a couple utilities, and Binance is burning a significant chunk of all the Terra Classic. You can see roughly 50% of all the Terra Classic burns are coming from Binance themselves, not through a bunch of different utilities. We only have a couple things that are really burning Terra Classic right now. And so as we grow our ecosystem, as we get more utilities, this burn rate that's roughly 120 million Terra Classic per day right now, that could potentially hit over 1 billion Terra Classic every single day, which would be hundreds of thousands of dollars of Terra Classic burned every single day. And so I think regardless of whether it takes 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 18 years for us to see a $1 Terra Classic, the steps we're going to go through are going to be similar. It's just how long we take at each step that's going to change. So first off, and I think this relates a lot to housing construction, and I apologize if any of you guys actually work in housing construction, it's not going to be totally accurate, but it's going to be an easy example to try and break down. So your first step that you have is your planning step. You have to establish, what do we want to accomplish with our ecosystem? What do we want to do? And then you go in and you start doing a bunch of groundwork, and you start laying the pipes and doing all that work. That's work that if you're sitting at the street level and you're looking at this house, you don't see anything going up. You're not seeing anything that's being built up. All the work is being done underground, and so you don't see the progress. That's like the L1 task force right now with Ed Kim and Zardar. They're building out this foundation. They're building out the groundwork for us to then get a lot of utilities that are actually going to build upon that in the future. And then you go into that foundation, gets constructed, gets finished. That's when that L1 dev work is done. We will have parity, we'll have cross-chain functionality, we'll have a lot of things for our Terra Classic ecosystem. But then we need utilities to start coming in and building on our ecosystem, start using our building blocks to actually build in the Terra Classic network. And then we go through a couple phases of just continuous growth here, where we get more utilities, maybe we get DEXs, we get NFT platforms, we get more NFT projects. We get a lot of things that get built into our ecosystem. And then eventually at the end of the day, we accomplish our goal of having a bunch of utilities that are burning Terra Classic, providing value. And so I really want to focus on these first 3 steps, because this is where we're going to be for a little while, for a couple months at the very least. Because if you look at the price of Terra Classic, like the house being built, and as the house gets finished, the price of Terra Classic is going up. If you make that parallel, if you're sitting here at street level, you're looking at a chart, you're not seeing the price move at all in these first 3 steps, really. You're seeing maybe some small changes, but you're not seeing anything significant. And so this is where we need to look at it and go, okay, we can't really expect Terra Classic price to shoot up to 1 cent next month or anything like that, because we need to build this foundation. We need to build out the framework for our ecosystem before we can actually see the price explode. And just like a house that is built on a poor foundation, if we don't build that core foundation, make sure that it is rock solid, our house or the price of Terra Classic will absolutely collapse. It's going to fall apart. It's going to be a total mess. And that's why it's so important for us to focus on building this foundation, building the house structure in this case. That way we can continue to build Terra Classic, have the price go up and have it stay up there, not have it go up and collapse. And if you want to learn about some of the critical building blocks that's actually going to be coming to the Interchain Station very soon, check out this video up here and I'll catch you on the next one.